hip hop was the only thing that we owned at one point, and it was founded on. At one point we owned hip hop. Oh yes, we did. Come on, Max, with all that. We owned hip hop, bro.
The Jewish community was one of the first ones to look at us and say, we can make some money with this. There's such a love-hate relationship between hip-hop executives and hip-hop because now we realize it's not fair.
Isn't the entire like infrastructure of music set up like that though?
The entertainment industry in general set up like that.
Prince gave artists the blueprint.
He gave everybody the game.
He gave everybody the blueprint.
All they know Prince is for is Purple Rain.
Not the business. Nobody follows suit.
And even changed his name to get out of the deal. The so-called deal.
Somebody made a video telling you how to sell to the Negro. What's the concept behind that?
The concept behind it is how we are going to buy brands all the time. Brand name, everything.
Balenciaga's not quality stuff. They did regular stuff.
And there's a lot of perceived value in that brand. So 9 times out of 10, that brand is gonna cost more money. So I just spent more for something price-wise that didn't match the value. This thing pretty much says, I'm shopping to impress Lynch. I'm shopping to impress Max. And that's a part of my buying decision. That's factored into the equation of me spending my hard-earned money. When's the last time y'all bought something off brand?
All the time.
I buy a lot of off-brand shit.
These shirts right here, I buy the blanks and I put my own on.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wear whatever.
I do it all the time.
Like these are Nikes, but they're covered up by a local a designer that I saw on TikTok.
Gotcha.
I've got to past the point to where I buy things based upon the brand. Like for me, like these jeans, they are like $300 a pair. There's no logo on these joints. I just like them because they fit well and they got a little stretch in them.
Gotcha.
And I only buy these jeans. Only because if you gave me the same exact joints for $10 at Walmart, I will be in Walmart busting down them joints.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't give a damn now. These things look good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, we were talking earlier, like I kind of just introduced you guys to the company I be buying some of these t-shirts from. So a lot of people don't really know about the brand, but you know, I think whatever I put on, I can make fly. So you know what I mean. I don't be tripping about. You know,
so you don't have to borrow the influence of the brand to feel fly.
Nah, I'm an influencer. Like I have people who come, like Lululemon is borrowing my influence to sell their brand. Right. So it's not, you understand what I'm saying? It's vice versa. I think when you understand, we talked about this a couple of days ago. You understand the value that you possess within yourself. That means you can kind of rock whatever and make it look good, right? And or feel good rocking it, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had we rolling. Yeah, we rolling. Yeah, good. I'm glad. Honestly, I always go back to this stuff. We didn't have a lot growing up, right. So you had one piece of clothes that was probably name brand. Everything else, you had to make it look good with what you had on. You know what I mean? And that probably was coming from, something that wasn't that expensive. So you had to go with the shoes and then make everything else rock.
What was the brand that you wanted to wear that it wasn't like an everyday thing? And you remember you were like, when I get that, I'm gonna be on.
Oh man. Well,
for me it was Jordans.
For me it was like a Jordan.
It was Jordans.
Early on, I had my first. The ones was my first J's. The ones, but I was a kid, so my uncle bought me some ones. So they were my first ones, and I think that exposure was kind of the reason why, you know what? But right before the ones, I think, or maybe around the same time, I got the joints that KRS-One used to rock. And
Rose colors?
They was kind of like cross trainers or something like that. They was Nikes, but they was like some cross trainer joints. And I was a big KRS-One fan. So literally when he said we only wear Nikes, not Adidas or Reeboks, he used to be beefing with Run DMC and them. And you remember he said kings lose crowns, but teachers stay intelligent. Right. He was the teachers and they used to be the king of rock. There's none higher. Yeah. He used to be beefing with them. the bridge is over. You know what I mean? He was from Queensbridge. Yeah. So he used to be, the bridge is over and all that stuff. So
said that song put a battery in his back.
Yeah, and everybody from Queens back. You know what I mean? They still probably beefing with Karis One over that today. But like the culture influences us a lot, man. And there we go. They go to culture. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think I'm right in saying that hip hop was the kind of like the only thing that we owned at one point, and it was founded on. At one point we owned hip hop. Oh yes, we did. Come on, Max, with all that. We owned hip hop, bro. That hip hop started out in the park, man. We did that to change some stuff up, man, to make us feel good about what we was going through, bro.
Was that Kool Herc started in the park?
Yeah,
the party or whatever.
Kool Herc was a Jamaican, right?
Actually came from Jamaica. It came from Jamaica. Well, something like that.
Yeah, but the idea behind owning it is, if it was owned, it was a very short period of time because it became commercialized very fast.
Without question.
And you no longer own it at that point.
Absolutely. That's why I said at one point in time. So it was founded on some cultural elements. You know what I'm saying? And once we got away from those cultural elements, when they realized that, big labels realized that they could go ahead and market this, was it Sugar Hill Gang or something like that?
Yeah.
They sold out. They sold out. Matter of fact, Russ sold out. That's probably why Karis One had the big beef with him.
Who? Russell? What, Def Jam?
Yeah, Russ.
Def Jam was founded by a black dude and a white dude, right?
So Russ actually was with the company that helped found the whole joint, and the joint split. And when it split, Russ helped take the whole joint commercial, and boom, a lot of the cultural elements started to fall by the wayside.
Yo, why do management always last longer than the
artist?
And the artist, the one who generates. Is that just an info gap thing? Lack of knowledge?
Leadership is, got the quote unquote talent, and then you got leadership. Leadership is going to be around. Talent is, replaceable. Unless you say Dame Dash and Jay-Z, and then you go do your own thing. Create your own.
We talked about it on one of the early podcasts when we talked about the artist and the entrepreneur and the three.
I think how I understand this, let me back up. I believe that black talent wasn't nationalized in America until matter of fact, the white people of America wouldn't rock with us. They wouldn't give us the opportunity to use the platform or distribution or anything like that. It was just like, nah, we're not rocking with y'all.
How far, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but how far are you going back? Because
I don't know timeline, but what I do know is that the Jewish community was one of the first ones to look at us and say,
commodity.
We can make some money with this. And that's why there's such a love-hate relationship between hip hop executives and hip hop, because there was this, who gave you the opportunity to get distributed versus now we realize it's not fair. The setup is not fair. The architect of it's not fair.
Yeah.
But it's like some people are too far gone and we get bought into that deal. But I think what I'm asking you is, when you look at it now and you look at the scenario back then, why do you think it was right or wrong that they decided to, I don't know, I wouldn't use the word exploit, but
no, you can
take advantage of the opportunity.
You can
exploit.
You can use that
exploit the culture or the community to be able to make a profit of it. Is it purely like, because as entrepreneurs, is it purely like a business decision of making the gap, or is it, as you know better, you do better? So you should, you get what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
Yeah. It's. I think it's a couple things, a few things. One is, you know how we talked about the difference between a deal and a partnership, equity.
Okay, yeah.
All of these, early on, all of these situations were deals. As a matter of fact, everyone chased a record deal.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you couldn't get a record deal, then what?
Is that do you think it's fair because in the beginning there was an unknown amount of risk put into it, so they gave you a deal versus a partnership?
No, I don't think so. Because
you're right, because a partnership would have been less risky in the beginning with.
Absolutely, right? Because we're going to share the risk. That's what the partnership is. But then you got you got all these people that came up with their own, Dame Dash, Jay-Z. Before them, you had what's your boy in New Orleans, Master P. Before them, you got Baby and his crew, Cash Money, right? So you had all these folks that took the risk to go either took the risk or didn't have a choice, right? And then you still hear the stories about them giving us, people that look like us, the same deals that they gave us. And so that's why I've said before, one of the challenges just being black is you got to swivel your head to the left to make sure, they're not trying to do you in, but then you got to swivel your head to the right to make sure we're not getting done in by people that look like us. So it's like, you're constantly doing this. So, but you can use the word exploit because a lot of folks were exploited then, even up through these like 360 deals, if we're just talking about music.
That's Leo Corning created that.
Yeah.
Leo.
Yeah. So
Leo Cohen.
Leo. So absolutely, man. It was a whole bunch of.
Isn't the entire like infrastructure of music set up like that though? Like the whole music industry kind of set up like that?
I think the entertainment industry in general is set up like that. Yeah, it's a difficult one to navigate because I guess it's just so ingrained into the idea. I mean, I think so. Into all of us. And all of us, yeah.
Into all of us.
You brought up a point. You were talking about that. You were reading some sales books, and you came across with that. You say how to sell to a Negro.
Oh yeah, it was some old stuff where it was talking about how to sell to a Negro.
I feel like that comes up now almost every year, every other year. Mm-hmm. What's the concept behind that?
The concept behind it is, like how we actually think, and how we buy, products or services. I think, number one, they say like black people are going to buy brands all the time, brand name, everything. Like,
but this is an old video. Like this video is so old, it's like black and white.
Yeah, I think it might have been from like 54 or something like that.
What is it around 54?
Yeah, I think it was like 1954 or something like that. If y'all can look back into the text when we shot that in
it was like
1954. Somebody made a black and white video telling you how to sell to the Negro.
Right,
White man. But how did he know?
They said it was actually studies. They actually did studies on it, that we buy brand, that we buy quality, and that they shouldn't try to switch us at point of sale. And literally you could sell you could pretty much sell us whatever brand we perceive to be popular.
But what was the key? What was the key ingredient though?
I think that we want to be recognized. I think that, just black people in general, like, don't get recognized a lot, and that we want to feel important and we need to be appreciated. So we rock these brands to solidify all three of those things: to feel important, to be recognized, and to be appreciated.
So we borrow Louis Vuitton's influence.
Yep.
To feel better about
we borrow somebody else's last name to
because that is a whole name.
Everybody's brand.
Gucci.
We borrow
somebody's last name.
We feel better when we put Gucci, Louis, all those different types.
Prada.
Yep. Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
we feel better when we rock our Jordan, our J's.
So, we're talking about shoes and, everything going on with this Kanye thing. I went out, man, and I got a beef. And somebody put in the comments to help me out. I went out and I looked for black-owned sneaker brands.
Yeah.
I found several.
You did?
I did.
Man.
But nobody had a 15. So if you know of a black-owned sneaker brand that has a size 15, you know, drop a comment.
It got to be dope though. Like,
that's
it got to be dope.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go with the support joint again.
No,
real quick. I
found some dope ones. I found some dope, but they had like up to like size 10, size 11.
Right.
And it was like 6 to 10, 6 to 11. Man, baby shoes.
Right.
I need a 15.
Right.
Baby shoes.
But when I say it got to be dope, like you got to be able to. One, you got to have some quality to it. Like we already say we buy brands, right? We buy like it got to have some quality to it. It got to have a certain look to it because we trying to switch it over or we trying to go another way, but we need that quality.
Some of these is fresh,
and we can make the what's the brand?
It was this like how you say it? Sia Collective.
Those are the ones that I found.
You found them?
Yeah.
Let me see what it look like.
Those are the ones that I found.
Just slide it back up too when you get there.
That's some joint one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found those.
All right.
No 15s.
No 15.
No 15s, bro. Sia 15s. I would have bought like 2 or 3 pair because they are pretty dope.
At this point, I'm just going in the description. I'm just going to leave the office address.
Yeah.
Just send us a pair. Send them a 15.
Size 15. Yeah. So peep this. So if we all agree that selling to a Negro pretty much means that you should sell them influence or sell them appreciation, where did that come from? Where did that psychology come from?
Well,
do you think somebody's sitting around going, we need to sell appreciation and influence to white people?
Nah, it comes from when you look at the buying power that we have. We're out there making brands like dope. We're making brands the next biggest thing. Like every time a rapper or an artist, some type of influencer is on, they're putting this thing out there and they're on these platforms. Even before the platforms, they're on MTV and they're rocking it.
Right.
We were on BET, we were rocking it, and then everybody wanted. I just talked about how I wanted what KRS One had, right? And once we think it's popular, we influenced by the influence,
right? By
other people's opinion.
That's how Rockaware was born, right?
Right.
Rockaware was born.
Everything was born like that.
And FUBU, right? So
FUBU, because they threw it on LL, right?
Yeah.
And they use the influence to influence everybody else, and then that opinion influences us.
I think the only difference between us and our counterparts is that who they consider the influence, who they give the influence to put it on. So most of the time, it's not your celebrities or your sports players. There's a commonality in a lot of that, but it's usually through just good marketing. Like there's so many brands that because there's a difference between a black commercial and a white commercial. You ever seen a black McDonald's commercial and a white McDonald's commercial?
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yeah.
I don't think I paid attention.
Are you kidding me, bro?
They had the same commercial, but it'd be with black people.
Oh, but yeah, I've seen commercials with black people in them.
There is a black McDonald's commercial,
right, a version,
and a white McDonald's commercial. You've never seen the difference.
I've not paid attention.
Yeah. So literally, they'll do the same type of commercial. All right. So there's commercials back in the day that, let's say, BET was a predominantly. All right. For example, right now, if you're watching a predominantly black show, so you're watching Power, or you're watching, there's a certain type of commercial that will run during that audience, and then there's another version of that same commercial that will run again. Right. Like Mercedes, like example, Mercedes will run its commercials with hip hop music in the background and black actors, and then the white TV shows with this predominantly white audience, they'll run it with different types of music, classical, country, whatever it is, and then they're going to use white actors. Like it's literally that distinct. You're gonna notice. Well, most people don't even watch TV with ads no more. But
that's interesting. Yeah, I really hadn't paid attention. I knew there were ads that had black people in them, because you're right. Like on the BET shows or other BET Awards and anything else, all black. They had a commercial all black people, but outside of the color of the skin of the people in there, I didn't know there was a difference.
So this has me thinking: if they know that they have to switch the character in a commercial for influence
to appeal,
and empowerment, why don't they? If they know that, then they know the same thing about movies. So they purposely don't do the movies like that. There's purposely no representation in the movies.
Right.
I just had a thought. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
If they know to get you to buy, to get you to feel empowered, they create a commercial with people who look like you in it, right? If they know that about a 30 and a 60-second spot, then they also know the power of having people that look like you in a movie. But when something like Black Panther comes out, it shoots to the moon because there's never been a black character like that.
Everything that we do shoots to the moon. But that is a great point. Is it because they're appealing to people to buy the movie versus going to buy the French fries, or?
No, I think like what I'm saying is if you understand the ideology that you have to put different characters in your McDonald's commercial, which is a very minute thing
to appeal to that consumer.
Correct. Then you know that you know, because the commercial also empowers you. The reason why you put the black guy with the button-up shirt with his top button not buttoned, driving the Mercedes or the Cadillac in that commercial, it's empowerment of seeing that somebody that's black driving that Cadillac, that I should probably obtain it or can obtain it too.
Right.
If they know that small power exists in a 60-second commercial, then they know the power it holds in a movie. They know, what I'm saying is they know the power of representation. Yeah. But they make the conscious decision not to put that representation in because it is an empowerment in the form that does not benefit them.
Yeah. And I think the psychology of sales is a different, they don't want to, I guess, sway that power in that time. So you got product placement in movies as opposed to taking the whole person and then giving that, because it's called subliminal advertisement, right? Mm-hmm. So instead of influencing our psychology for us to be the hero or the doctor, the lawyers, right? Like, they don't want to influence that aspect of the psychology.
That's what I'm
saying. And so the subliminal advertisement will be what we see. You'll see the Coke can or the iPhone in the movie, and that will appeal to our subliminal subconscious mind and still achieve the objective, right? But the thing is, we still won't see the black hero or whatever in that leading role because there is a psychology of sales to keep us where, you know.
I don't know how we got down this road, but I just had an epiphany and I was like, damn, does that make sense?
It's pretty dope.
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
dope.
That's good.
And it is pretty dope. And I think just to go back to that indoctrination, because that's what it becomes. It becomes indoctrination, where we're conditioned to think a certain way, and that's why we never change these deals, or we never fight to do our own thing, or you only have one Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying, that has his own stuff, that can put his own actors and all the cast and all that stuff, where we have all black, everything that can change that psychology and things like that. Those record deals you keep getting the same type of record deals, but recently Meek Mill said he wanted to put his album out on what's this called? Cash App and JPay, so that he wouldn't have to go through the streaming system to actually get paid. He would just go get the money straight from JPay and Cash App. But I probably got that concept from a lot of other independent rappers who have already been doing that, and they see like people are living a super comfortable life without dealing with.
But he's not saying nothing new. He's just saying he want to independently sell his record label.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Put it on your own website.
He's bypassing the system.
Right. Yeah. Which is like, I don't know why it would take this long to actually get an aha moment from any of these.
Prince gave artists the blueprint.
He gave everybody the game.
He gave everybody the blueprint.
All they know Prince is for is Purple Rain.
Huh?
They don't be paying attention to Prince. Right, all they know Prince for is Purple Rain.
Not the business. Yeah. But Prince gave everybody the blueprint, but nobody followed suit.
And even changed his name to get out of the deal. The so-called deal.
Artist formerly known as Prince.
Artist formerly known
His name was a symbol.
Right. Which would allow him to sell the new music and without the other people, robbing him once he figured it out.
Right.
So
I'm just thinking about that whole concept that you guys brought up about selling to the Negro, and how much of that still applies to this very day.
Can we play it?
Is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware, but she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. The Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale.
According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group.
So he basically saying, like, based upon their income, they're buying more quality products than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
So the thing is intent, right? So this thing pretty much says I'm shopping to impress Lynch. I'm shopping to impress Max. And that's a part of my buying decision. While I'm sitting there and I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to buy this thing, man, what will Max think? What will Lynch think? Right? So that's factored into the equation of me spending my hard-earned money. And then because I'm buying this quote unquote brand, there's a bunch that comes with that brand. There's a lot of perceived value in that brand. So 9 times out of 10, that brand is going to cost more money. So I just spent more for something price wise that didn't match the value. So now that's more money going out of my pocket, right? And less staying in, which is affecting overall my generational wealth, right? Or my current wealth right now that will ultimately impact my generational wealth. So, you know, and I've heard a lot of times, that I don't know if it was a cliche or what, but I hear that women shop for women, other women. They buy dresses for other women. They don't buy them for themselves. It's like, I want to make sure that when I walk in the room, you know, Shay sees what I have on. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on. You know, I think if we unpack this whole thing, a lot of self-control is we're doing things because of other people. And that means we're spending money out of our means. We're not living within our means. We care what everybody else thinks, what everybody else has, and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. All the cliche things that you hear, they've been plaguing us, and this cycle keeps going on and on and on and on. And if we had enough self-confidence, right, then it would control the things that we, you know, do to get approval from other people, right?
Right.
You know who is the third richest man in the world? Who was once the richest man in the world during the pandemic?
Who was that?
Was that your LVMH too?
Arnold Allnut. Nobody even knows his name.
Right.
The man, he owns almost 97% of Christian Dior. Like, so, and I have a pair of those sneakers that were Nike / Christian Dior, and the price that they were going for was ridiculous. Aftermarket, $13,000 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point behind the whole thing is that they figure out that we buy brand or what we consider quality. We don't know nothing about no leather to be trying to tell them if the leather's good or not.
Better quality.
You know, so it's we more now buy into the brand versus quality. Take the word quality out because we don't even know. Balenciaga is not quality stuff. No. There's nothing. They did regular stuff.
Louis is canvas.
My thing with this whole thing is, do you think that the banking system would have survived without letting us be a part of it?
I think not a lot of things would have survived without letting us be a part of it.
Yeah, so it goes to the intent back to the desegregation,
right,
and the 1968 banking. Like for a long time, they would not lend to us to even get a house. But
Right.
do you think banks would survive only lending to white people or non-black people?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that just popped in my head again. I'm just like, well, they had to let us in, and
Right.
now that we control 1.8 trillion dollars a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely know they wouldn't survive without us being part of that. But imagine if 1.8 trillion dollars only went through one system, that went through another system.
Right. First, at least.
No, I'm just saying, like if everything stayed separate, it wouldn't be sustainable.
Oh yeah.
That's a wild concept. Anyways,
That is.
I think to wrap that whole thing up, the moral side of it is that psychological, like they figured this out psychologically a long time ago, and it still plays to today.
Yeah.
Is Negroes will buy brands. Yeah. Negroes will go buy quality, right? They want quality. Don't try to change their mind at the cash register. And Negroes spend the most money than any other set of Americans on quality product,
right,
or on brand,
right.
So when they design these exclusive brands or these exclusive champagnes that you feel like you're not supposed to be a part of, just know that they were actually designed knowing that you're going to go buy them.
Yeah. So I think
because of the influence and the significance.
Correct.
Right.
That's what you think you're buying.
Right. But what we don't understand as a people is that they're coming to us for our influence, but we are influenced by them or those brands. And it's really where we could create our own brands because we have all the influence. And the 1.8 trillion could stay within, the community as opposed to straight leaving out and everybody else becoming rich, other than us. Or other than just one person out of the family being rich. So even one athlete in the family.
But how is that going to happen, man? Because even when we're disrespected, right? When the brands disrespect us, when I think Tommy Hilfiger said, Hilfiger is not meant for black people. I never meant for this many black people to wear Hilfiger. When Gucci did the
gives
the monkey,
that gives more exclusivity away from you.
What do you mean?
You want it like you want things you can't have or you're not supposed to have. My man's telling you, yo, I never intended for this. He can do the math and know he can't survive without it.
And when Gucci did the monkey thing, right? And then all the black people said, boycott Gucci. And then 3-4 months later, everybody's still rocking Gucci.
I thought it was like 6 weeks.
Well, some people didn't stop.
Yeah, some people didn't stop.
So I don't understand. Like that's powerful, man.
Listen to this. I don't know if this will come through, but
what's up?
This response here is something I said about black power and black influence, okay? I'm gonna give you one simple example how powerful the black community in America is. Just retail spending power. That coin, that money is power. Now look at this. Right here on top of Google, the African American population, yes, historically held an extremely powerful position in the retail marketplace. Look at this. You guys, the black community, known to drive trends across food, beauty, media, and more. Okay, this is just one aspect of black power. Look at this. The projected reach by 2024 is 1.8 trillion. That's a T, y'all. $1.8 trillion. $1.8 trillion. Part of this thread here, I stated that blacks in America, yes, African Americans, they can create or destroy any company in the United States of America if they wanted to, if they acted collectively. $1.8 trillion is no freaking joke. Do you agree?
And when I say we got the power to cancel somebody, people be in the comments like literally think I'm joking. Like there's a support right there. Got the power to cancel somebody
it
overnight.
Says historically has known to control trends in food, fashion, beauty, and more.
Period.
Media, yeah.
A couple podcasts ago, I said the same thing about Yeezy.
But the other thing he talked about was collective, right? So having that collective consciousness to go do that. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing I'm beating myself up, beating my head against the wall about. Like, we talked about crime earlier. It's like, it could be individually, I don't know how much impact we will have on, we will have some impact, absolutely. But when we all come together, even if 50% of us came together to attack a thing,
30.
Yeah. We would dominate it.
Yeah.
We would, exactly. There would be a major shift in, economics. There would be a major shift in crime. There would be a major shift in family. But cracking that nut is the thing.
Yeah, I think it comes down to that third point where we don't want to be switched at the point of sale. So now that Louis Vuitton is dope and we think that that's the mark or the standard, we don't want to be switched now at point of sale. We got our thing. Jay's is our thing. We don't want to go to, what is it, the other joint you just showed me? It's like,
I go to the other joint if they got 15.
But we're different. We're different, and we're trying to lead the charge. So that's why we're having these we're having these conversations. But people like Clubhouse exploited us. They literally overnight grew their joint, targeted us, grew their joint, and went public.
What happened the moment we decided it wasn't cool no more?
We shut it down.
Bounced.
We got right off of that joint.
Bounced.
Yeah, but somebody got some money in the meantime, between time, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't understand the economics of Clubhouse, but that whole point about us being able to bring a company down or to launch a company, that's powerful.
So I just know that.
I think people believe it.
Yeah, man, there's so many people that people of influence are connected to, where they can use that influence with, instead of going after a deal, they could partner, right, and get some equity and blow that brand up. You see sports players, they're starting to do it now, where they're getting equity now instead of just a deal. And these companies might be blowing up in 2-3 years, and there's the play.
I was a part of a group on Facebook one time where this guy, pretty clever. I don't know where it is now. I guess I'm still a member of the group, but not active at all. But they said we're going to buy American Airlines. So they encouraged everybody in the group. The group had like 50,000 people in the group to periodically buy shares of American Airlines, which meant that all of these black people ultimately would own a controlling interest in American Airlines. So imagine if, with publicly traded companies, we picked a company and we went and did something like that.
Yeah, that would crush. You can do that in a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, easily. Absolutely. And it's not you buying, tens of thousands of shares of the company. It's like, that 1.8 trillion buying power we go buy, pick a company, and we just periodically just buy shares of, 5-10 shares in the company. And then ultimately, the collective
ideology is the same as all of us buying one person buying the whole share.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So I thought that was pretty dope. But that's just a way to go having controlling interest into a company without me or each one of you guys having to spend that money.
Once you have a controlling interest in the company, what do you do with that? Like say that theory goes, right? And the controlling interest is 19%. Say that there's 19% of the company you own.
Yeah, you can control the direction of the company. You can control the focus of the company.
Can you demand a board seat at that point?
I don't know if you can demand a board seat, but you can go to the shareholders meetings and you can vote on the direction. Vote on the direction of the company, and then you can make enough noise to say, hey, so if somebody built a sweater with a monkey on it, you can shut it down a lot quicker because now I got control and I can demand so and so is fired. You just have more influence on that organization. But that's a way to go garner that influence and do it legally and fairly and what everybody else.
I ain't worried about fairly.
Yeah.
Yo, I think that would be super dope. What if we did something like Black History Month?
Let's go buy Lululemon.
Do something. We can figure out.
Is Lululemon
we don't even have to do Lulu. We can figure out a black company and or something like somebody that we want to. Or
a black. There's not too many black publicly traded companies, if any. That I can't. I think there's a. I don't know. I think there's a couple, but I would have to go research.
Do the support.
Let's pick like a sacred cow, right? And let's go get a sacred cow. Let's go, like Coca-Cola or AT&T or one of those, GE. You know what I'm saying? And let's go. Just $1.8 trillion buying power and start buying up one of those companies. So then imagine having controlling interest of media companies. Let's go get a media company. Let's all of us go buy a media company. And then we determine what the narrative is, because then we got the influence at that point.
What's your life insurance look like? It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Yeah, people come up when I'm gone. People come up. What are you suggesting? They gonna come looking for me?
I don't know, man. It was a strong suggestion.
I live in Nepal.
You know, the thing is looking at the rules of the game, understand the rules of the game, and then understand how you could collectively use the rules against the system.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like a way that you're like, ooh. So, but
and it's not far-fetched.
No, it's not far-fetched at all. It's not far-fetched at all. But that takes a little trust and education.
Absolutely.
No, I think this was a good one, man. A lot of questions. Now I have to go do research. Created a lot of questions for myself. I don't know. What'd you get from this pod?
I know your bride is saying pick a sacred cow, let's buy it and let's do all that. I'm thinking more or less taking somebody and taking them through the moon, and then next month or 6 months or 3 months we pick another person, and then we create
I think we talked about this before,
a model, to where now we're just doing this. We're teaching other people how to do this, all around or wherever we want to do. And we just blow something up.
Is that clock right?
Every month, yeah. And we just blow something up every month or every year or whenever. Because I swear, every month or every year is another trend that the whole culture is rocking and doing and stuff like that.
So we're working on the book.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think about that being a chapter, or that at least a call to action? We map out the plan, we map out the target or targets, and that be a part of the book. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we say, here's the call to action where we're gonna go own X. It doesn't have to be a media company, because Max got me salon drive home. But we pick a target and we go own it.
Is there anything wrong with creating something?
No, absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with creating something. Takes a different psychology. Your skin has to be a little different, but absolutely not.
We talked about this before. Being able to get behind something and pick something and just be like, all right, this is what we're going after.
Yeah.
Well, what? We'll talk about that later.
I mean, you see how Clubhouse did it? They did invite only, and we thought we was on some exclusive type time and stuff.
Let me in. How many invites you got?
We could do the same thing.
I just always wonder. Yo, should we do podcasts on the road?
Absolutely.
I would love to do an HBCU tour. Live HBCU tour where we sit down in each HBCU, or at least a dozen HBCUs, and we do a pod where they come up.
I would love to too. I don't think we start there because our demographic is a little older than the HBCUs.
I'm just saying, do it there. People still, the demographic still is going to get it, but being able to influence those young minds and some of the questions that I think and some of the perspectives that will come out of the audiences, I think would be dope.
Pod. What if we do it in our own venues though? But
yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think
we do
an
audience.
Yeah. No, we do it. Yeah, we go to and do it live on stage.
Right, and we do it wherever we.
Okay, like we talked about in Harlem, right? Like go to Harlem and do one. Is that what you mean? When you say our own venues, what do you mean?
No, I'm saying like we rent out our own theater and then
and then have somebody come in,
promote the joint.
No, we just have people
come in.
Yeah, and then we have two guests or so. From
do like pop-ups or something, and have people show up.
Yo, shout out to these shoes before I get out of here.
Yeah,
I really want to remember.
They sending a check.
I really want to remember where I got these from.
You got to get the shoes.
Crazy craftsmanship.
Yeah, so I saw these on a TikTok, and then I
bet you they didn't have 15s.
Actually, they will be. They will. And
Did you have to send the shoes and they just customize them, or
no? I just paid like $300. Huh?
Show the camera. You take one off. Show the camera.
No, I ain't gonna take these joints off, bro. What's wrong with you? Catch that right there. You want me to take my shoe off?
You can zoom right on the.
Nah. Can you see those?
Yeah.
So yeah, these shoes I picked up from, I think it's Jerry, Jaeri Studios. They even got a matching hoodie for these joints. I didn't even see the hoodie when these joints. First of all, she need to raise the price on this hoodie. I'm gonna go ahead and tell her that
raise
right
the price
now.
on these shoes.
On the
too.
shoes, too.
Yeah, raise the price on these, honey. They fire though. Took some ones, customized them. First day I had them on my feet today.
Tough.
They don't have 15s.
I don't know why. I
She only
can
goes up to
message her.
13s.
I mean, I'm sure you can send her the joints.
No, I'm good.
These are white ones. They gotta
They're
be
white ones.
They
Yeah.
gotta be out
Yeah.
there.
I'm just saying, man. I'm saying what she doesn't offer.
Yeah, I get it. She ain't never ran across somebody with a big ass foot like yours.
Little baby shoes.
Well, you got them monster ass feet.
Hey.
So we had the same type of concept back in the day. It was like 02. We put the Gucci pattern on the ones and all that stuff. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is her own, like her.
No. I see.
This remind me of one of them Coogee sweaters.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's the concept.
You probably still got some Coogee.
I don't, man. Never owned a Coogee. Couldn't
for
afford a Coogee sweater. I wouldn't spend that much money on a sweater.
Get you
Anyway, I
one
told
for
you
your birthday,
I'm
bro.
frugal. So this dude came. You know, I told you my what was it, Vine story. Guy came in and said, "Hey, you got this great idea." Came into our office, got this great idea about these 6-second videos. Yada yada yada. Get out of here! Ain't nobody gonna look at no 6-second videos. And then 6 months later, Vine, right? So this guy, he had a whole kit for customizing tennis shoes. He had the paints and the templates and all that.
Yeah.
So, man, nobody don't want to customize no tennis shoes. Nobody painting on no tennis shoes. He's like, nah, I tell you. And you know where he got the idea from? People that worked at like Lowe's or Home Depot in paint departments, their shoes
Looked all
was
messed up.
splotted up with different colors and stuff.
Look fire sometimes.
Yeah. So he was like, hey, get out of here. Ain't nobody gonna do that. So yeah, I missed out on a few opportunities.
Before Tim's, you used to come out with like different color joints. I had dyed some joints back in the day, like early on.
I ain't had no money back
Yeah, I
then.
dyed them back in the day myself
I ain't had no money.
Why did you buy Tim's?
because of the influence of the culture. That's what we used to rock.
Yeah, everybody.
Because they were
Hey,
like,
but when that stopped being cool, then Timberlands now do work boots.
right. They were always work boots though.
I know, but I'm saying now that's all they focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still
We
took
was
work
still
boots and
rocking.
then
Yeah, I know- I know y'all old heads still
Wintertime up
rocking.
top, we gonna put some
Y'all old
Timbs
heads
on.
still rocking.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
no doubt. For real.
joking.
Sure. Yeah.
New York different, Jersey
Dope,
different,
different.
bro.
We gonna
Y'all
throw
ain't.
some
It's not
joints
a real
on.
place.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not a real place.
So what y'all get out of this? I got out of it, man.
I
I
got
need
homework.
to make sure. Definitely got some homework, but man, I'm already frugal, so I'm only gonna spend a certain amount of money on certain things, but I want to make sure that that I'm not being okie doke by the system when selling to a Negro. So I need to make sure my intentions are pure when it comes to the purchases that
Delay
I
that
make.
gratification. Just make sure you really want it.
Well, I mean, I think that psychology is, we're going to go into another couple minutes, but I think it just transfers into a whole bunch of other stuff. And we just like what we like. And we spending money there. We just don't, other spots, other places, we just like, I'm not spending no money there on that. So I do the same thing. It's just certain shit I spend money on, certain shit I'm like, I ain't spending no money on that. And I'm probably influenced by something somewhere to make me actually, spend it there or buy it there.
Correct.
Or I figure out a way to justify it.
I just got a lot of homework for myself. Figured out. Come
Yes,
back on the next
dude.
pod.
For me personally, what I do is I'm going to dive into, all my stuff, and I'm going to figure out if,
You gonna give away all your J's?
nah, not yet.
You already spent all the money on that.
Not yet. Yeah,
It's a bad business decision.
Sell your J's?
Then you just get it. Somebody else gonna rock.
Nah, nah, not yet. They ain't do nothing. Jordan ain't do nothing bad to me yet. I want him to figure out a way to maybe make a better deal or
Do
something.
you feel
like that.
significant when you wear J's?
Yeah, I think it makes me a little bit. People do. They recognize them, right? Recognition. People say, "Yo, that's a dope shirt you got on." Makes you feel a little something. Add to your dopamine hit in your shot.
Gotcha.
When you first rocked that Black 5 stuff, I asked you what was that company, and you told me about it, and I think you felt significant telling me the story about Black 5s and how you came across it and where you got that shirt from. And the first one was
I agree.
I think it might have been a Winston-Salem joint or something like that, right? The first one was a while ago.
What, Black
A couple
Five?
years, yeah, a couple years ago.
was-
You had a shirt. That,
Yeah.
and we had a whole conversation about it or whatever, and you still got one on today. You still supporting the brand. You think it's pretty dope.
I do.
You know, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we getting the psychology of sales is still. I can actually see that being true in a few things that I rock with now to this day. It ain't, you know, it don't drive me or roll with it. You know what I mean? I ain't get a plane yet because Max got a plane, but I want to fly. You know what I'm saying?
Fly with me, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm coming. I'll be there. Like, but that influence, it you know what I mean? It does something, and we're going to get it everywhere we got. Now, I'm saying, let's take our influence, be conscious of it, and maybe use that to drive, wealth into our own community, as opposed to LVM becoming the people who have the most. His family, this man, we sent a list of like the richest people in America or something like that.
In the world.
In the world, I think. There was a list in the group.
He's number 3.
And he was number 3 in the joint. And then all the brands and then we talked about luxury, and you know what I mean? And talked about the quality of luxury.
Exclusivity, right? All that stuff, man.
Right. So wasn't no black people on that list, was it?
Nah.
It was not in the top 20, I don't think. Look, Max face.
I don't know.
No.
Was Rihanna's brand a part of that?
Nah.
He
but-
owned part of that.
Yeah,
that's
he
what I
owned,
meant.
yeah. So, it's just like, man, how can we get a black person on a list?
Create our own list, bro.
It's all good. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I got homework to do. I don't know about y'all, so I'm gonna do some homework. But like always, we appreciate you guys watching.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys listening. If you're on YouTube, do us a favor. Hit that like button.
Please.
Hit that subscribe button. It don't cost nothing.
And share it too.
And share that joint. If you're in the podcast world, 5 stars.
Please. If you can give us 6, go ahead and give it to us.
Yeah, if some apps out there do 6, give 6, right?
Yeah. If you got a couple different emails and devices, go ahead and do it a few times.
Facts.
That would be a great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Care anything about us? You want to give us a Christmas gift
We need 5 seconds of your time.
Or a Kwanzaa gift.
or a Kwanzaa gift?
Kwanzaa's a whole.
I made a
nother thing.
declaration, that's a whole nother conversation. But I made a declaration with the fam.
We should talk about
2
that
days
next
ago.
pod.
Let's talk
2
about
days
that.
ago.
Let's talk
I
about that next
appreciate
pod.
That's what we're doing. That's
Well,
what
let's
we're
come
doing.
back on that one.
Let's come back on that.
Super dope. Love it.
But anywho,
All right, man. You know what it is. This is Endgame Podcast. I'm
Yo.
the guy, Max Maxwell.
I'm
Rod
Lynch Hunt.
Brown.
I'm Lynch
I'm
Hunt.
Max Maxwell.
I'm Rob Brown.
And
And, I'm
Lynch
Max
Hunt.
Maxwell.
Listen, we
I
are
am,
because
but
I
I
am.
That's right.
Ubuntu.
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 You know what I'm saying?
All right, we love y'all. We out.
Peace.
Peace.